In the last video, we begin our journey to create a winter wonderland throughout my entire double wide. Maybe not the entire double wide because a majority of it is still under construction where we're completely renovating the entire thing and doing a huge extreme makeover. But the areas I can decorate, I want to go all out and create a huge winter wonderland. I'm talking movie style level, just all the cozy vibes. I really want to make my spaces feel that way this season. That being said, I am on a double wide budget. So I'm just using everything that I've accumulated over the seasons and I'm throwing it all together and going along with it as I go. I'm kind of just winging it really, but I've come to find out using everything together is giving me a 90s Christmas feel in here, sort of vintage, which is wild that the 90s are considered vintage, but the 90s are also considered the 1900s now. I started out in my living room in the last video, and in this video we're going to continue to work on the living room and really perfect it and give it that finishing touch that it really needs. I'm starting a playlist to keep up with all these videos in this series, so be on the lookout for that because it'll be in the description box below. I was never really one to decorate for Christmas before I got on YouTube, but in the past few years of being on YouTube, I've slowly accumulated a really nice collection of Christmas stuff. So this year, going out and buying a bunch of Christmas decor was just unnecessary because I had already accumulated some really good pieces. I only picked up a few pieces this year. It's not a lot at all. It definitely was not enough to do a haul, but I did pick up just a couple of pieces to tie everything together. My husband isn't home, so I'm having to hang this up by myself, and I'm not a very good hanger. This is how I measure things to make sure it's even. If my husband sees this video, he's going to be cringing so hard that his teeth shatter because he's going to be like, Rena, that right there is not how you measure to hang up a picture. But I was just going for kind of even. Does not have to be perfect. Nothing in my home is perfect. Nothing in my life is perfect. But I just wanted it to look like I tried. And after a few holes, little mini holes, little puncture holes in the walls, I got it pretty even. I might even, dare I say, I got it completely even. But this is why I went with push pins and not nails. My husband always hangs stuff up with nails. A lot of times he uses screws actually, but he has this whole thing where he doesn't know where the studs are in the wall. So instead of like looking for them a lot of times, he'll just drill a big hole in the wall to find a stud, and if he doesn't find one, he's like, oh dang it, let's go a little to the right and make a whole nother hole. So I feel like my way is a lot less damaging to the trailer. I actually don't know why I've never hung anything with push pins. It's always nails. From now on, if I have a picture, I'm going to hang it with the push pin. Like, that was the easiest thing on the planet. I got this little Garland snake here for like just a couple of bucks at the Hobby Lobby. It's like 25 foot. It was not expensive at all, and I didn't have the budget to go get like the massive big old garlands. I'd already picked up some new garland, so I didn't have the budget to pick up like 2 sets of garland. So I was like, listen, it doesn't, just because we're on a double wide budget don't mean we can't make this thing look fancy. So we're going to snake this little grass snake around the doorway here, and then I'm going to add some lights, and lights make everything pretty. Lights also hide flaws. Just if you didn't know that, try it. I always do that. If I feel like something doesn't look pretty enough, or if I feel like something looks a little bit too flawed, I add a couple of lights and boom, your attention is on the lights, not on the flaw. It's a life hack. You're welcome. I'm also hanging this garland with push pins. I had told Shane the other day on his way home to pick up some push pins, and he asked me how many, and I was like, about 1,000. And I was being sarcastic. Well, he actually brought me 1,000. So I have a super amount of push pins to use, and I'm using them, buddy. This tree worm actually came in handy with it being so thin because I have a very small area between the top of my door frame and my ceiling on this side of the double wide. Over towards the middle where it arches, I have like 10.5 foot ceiling or something like that. But over here, it's 8.5 foot ceiling, 8.5, something like that. So I have very little space in between the top of the door frame and my ceiling. So this fit perfectly. I feel like it didn't overhang like last year. I put some garland I already had up here, and it was really thick, and it was really hard to open the door, and every time we opened the door, we tore down the garland. So this works perfect for this area. This was actually the beginning of my day. The kiddos were out doing their morning chores, and so I was able to get that picture hung up and this garland around this door frame all within just a couple of minutes. It took no time. I was expecting it to take way longer, but I also didn't know if the push pin thing was going to work, so I was 100% expecting to have to like drill a whole wall in the hole. Drill a hole in the wall. Drill a hole wall in the Drill a whole hole in the wall. Yeah. Let's see if I can cut the green snake with regular scissors. It cut like paper. I can't even complain. I can't laugh at it either. This stuff was too easy to put up, and I will probably forever use this stuff now. Even if it does look little and cheap, I'm a fan of it. I'm using these twinkling lights this year. Every year I debate. It's like the hardest decision for me to decide what kind of lights to use. Am I going to use colored? I never use color, but am I going to use colored? That's always on the table. Am I going to use cool lights? Am I going to go really warm? Am I going to go the orangey warm or just the warm? Am I going to do twinkling lights? Am I going to do lights that flicker? What am I going to do? This year I decided for the first time to do twinkling lights, and let me tell you, I'm pretty positive I will never go back. The twinkling lights, when the lights are off, the twinkling lights give the home such a vibe. I'm telling you, it feels like when you go, in the mall and they have that area where Santa is sitting and all the lights are twinkling around the area, and it just has like that magical feeling. That's what the twinkling lights do to my house at night. Even during the day, though, when they're twinkling, you can see them back there on the mantle. They're twinkling, and it gives it something fun for the kiddos. It's not just lights sitting there. It's always moving, and it's captivating, which, I mean, my mind is captivated by the smallest of things. But it really is. Like, I'll just sit there and look at them and admire them. I have the twinkling lights all over the place this year. I mean, I have them all over the place. You'll see at the end of this video, I have so many lights, it's not even funny. Do not let anybody tell you have too many Christmas lights. That's too much negativity. No. Twinkling lights are the easiest way to make your home feel cozy during the Christmas season, and they're affordable too. So if you're going to get just a few things this year, think about getting some of these twinkling lights because they add a little oomph to your Christmas decor, and it gives it that magical feeling, especially if you have kiddos. They will love it. Mine do. I got this green worm I told you from the Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree has some almost identical to this. This was just 25 feet. I think Dollar Tree's is like 6 foot or something. I'm not really sure, but theirs is a lot shorter, but you can use several of them for really cheap. If you use some twinkling lights on that garland, it bulks it up a little bit and just makes it look really, really pretty. These wreaths are battery-powered wreaths from the Lowe's, and they have 3 options. They go between colored and warm lights. They have a warm lights option and a colored lights option, like by themselves. So there's 3 different options. They're battery-powered. So do like me, if you have battery-powered stuff and a lot of it, get you some battery power packs with batteries included from the Amazon. It's the cheapest place you can find it. Do not go to Lowe's. They cost an arm and a leg, and you need both of those things. So get them from the Amazon. Amazon is way cheaper. I think the powered packs that I got that charge the batteries, I think I got an 18 pack of batteries, and it has like charging slots for 18 batteries, and I got 2 of those. That's the cheapest way to go if you have a lot of things that are battery powered. These lights are not battery powered though. Hallelujah. These plug in. I got these from Ross. Now, every Ross doesn't have them because all different Rosses have different things. I couldn't find these in one county, but I found them in the other. I actually went back to look for some in my Ross, and my Ross didn't have them, but an outside county had them. So I got 2 packs of these, and I'm just going to like place them around the pictures like randomly just to add some light over here to this wall. I'm actually going to be changing those pictures too here in a little bit. But everything had so much light around this wall, so I wanted to incorporate this wall and just kind of make it flow. So I added these lights, and I feel like it really did that. I feel like it complemented this area, and it gave it something over here, and it didn't look so bare. Me and stockings have an on-again, off-again relationship. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't, but I didn't have any that went along with that old school 90s kind of look color scheme I was going for. So I found these on Amazon, and I loved them because they had these little tags I can write the kiddos' names on, and they were the perfect colors for what I have going on my tree and just in the whole living room right now. It's that burgundy red, that deep red, that cream colored white, and that hunter green. I love those colors together. I don't know if I'll ever go back to a modern look like candy theme or anything like that for Christmas. I may just stay here. I like it here. I'm using this Jelly Roll pen. It's just like a gel pen sort of. If a gel pen and a paint pen had a baby, and I'm just slowly writing the names on there. If you write slowly with these things on these little wooden tabs, you don't get like it's not weird. Like the pen doesn't go in and out. It's a very smooth and consistent like stroke, I guess you could say. Not me telling you how to write with a gel pen, but it goes on a lot smoother if you write super slow. So I'm going through and writing all of our names on these tabs here, and I'm going to go in and put the kids' little nicknames on there too in little quotation marks. because we rarely ever call them by their names. We're always calling them their nicknames. Since stockings and I are on and off again, I really wasn't going to do them this year, but when I saw these on Amazon and they were the perfect colors, I was like, I'm going to get those. So I knew getting these, I would have to take one of my 2 little gold garlands down back there so I could hang these on the mantle, and I was okay with that because I knew I could use it somewhere else. My heart wasn't totally set on that double garland anyway. I just kind of liked how it looked until I got these stockings. You can see every scar on my hand. I have so many scars on my hand. So I have a scar on my, let me look at my hands right now. I think it's my left hand. Yeah, I have a scar on my left hand where somebody burnt me with a lighter, and it looks like a face, and it kind of looks like a Pac-Man too. But somebody like put a lighter on me, and it did some major damage, and here we are. I'm 33, and I still have that little Pac-Man looking, ghost looking, it's like a Pac-Man ghost, a little Pac-Man ghost looking thing. And then I have a scar on that same hand where whenever I was little, they drug me down an entire hill by a go-kart. On the opposite hand, I have this area where I was playing. Me and my brother, we heated up some pipe that you would like use for plumbing. Not metal pipe, but plastic pipe that you would use for plumbing. And we heated it up in a fire, and I was playing with it, slinging it around, and some melted plastic like landed on my hand, and we had to literally like cut those melted plastic things off of my hand. And then on my arm, my right arm, I have like this little circle scar, and that is from working in a nursing home. I had MRSA there, and I thought it would heal over and not create a scar, but it definitely left a scar. These little name tags are so cool, and I just tied them onto the loop there that you're supposed to hang the stocking from, and I actually ended up hanging them with a push pin, but I hung them by the little twine looking stuff on that tag. I used it because they just hung better and they looked better whenever I used that instead of the loop that came attached to it to hang it by. I just noticed something so cool. My receding hairline is in the shape of an M, like for my name. My brain kind of got off it got derailed. Get back on the rails. Let's get back on the track. Anyways, I don't even know what I think I was talking about the tags, but I got distracted by my M-shaped hairline. I've thought about cutting my hair, not to hide my hairline, but to stop my hairline from getting worse, because my hair is forever in a bun, and that causes a lot. I didn't learn this till you guys, but that causes a lot of tension on that front area of my hair. And so when I started wearing my hair in a bun all the time, I started having like a receding hairline, like kind of like giving old man vibes. So I have stopped using the regular hair ties because it also pulls my hair out a lot, and it just pulls it back super tight. And I've been trying to loosely bun it up with a scrunchie, and it seems to be doing better. I mean, my hairline isn't affected by it because, I mean, obviously I can't grow hair that fast, but it's not pulling as hard and, like, tight on my head as it was when I used a regular hair tie. And when I mean cutting my hair, I don't mean, like, actually cutting, like, my hair off. I meant, like, giving myself bangs or something, but that's probably a really bad idea. I probably need to go to the salon if I'm thinking about getting bangs. Maybe. I've cut my own bangs before, and it's really hit or miss. Sometimes I do it, and I'm like, dang, girl, you did good. And then sometimes I do it, and I'm like, dang, girl, why'd you do that? I tried every sort of way possible to be able to keep up both of these garlands and these stockings, but in the end, it just didn't work, and I ended up having to take down that second garland and just hang up the stockings underneath the first garland. And by this point, it's later in the evening. Shane is able to help me, and thank goodness, because my thumb has a permanent push pin dent in it from pushing them pins in the walls and in the wood, and that hurts after a while. Like, my thumb is sore. I'm using the second garland that was looped here over on Shane's little village area. He sets up a village every year. It's one of his most favorite things to do during Christmas. I really can't remember when he started finding so much joy in doing a Christmas village, but it hasn't been too long. I guess it's in his older age. He's just finding joy in little things like that, and every year he looks forward and plans for his little Christmas village. So this year I wanted it front and center, so as soon as you walked in the door, it was one of the first things that you saw, because he just loves it so much and it brings him so much happiness. I need to get the dogs some stockings, but I can't hang them up on the mantle, so I don't really know where I'm going to hang them at. I'm sure I'll hang them somewhere with push pins, but I can't hang them on the mantle because there's too many of them, and it would probably like be too much weight on the mantle. Not really, but like it would drown out the mantle with all the stockings I would need. So I don't know, but I do like getting my dogs stockings because Binksy and Tater used to love it when I would get them stockings. which they're a wiener dog, so they love digging in anything. They would dig in the bed, they would dig in the couch. Tater still digs in the couch. She loves digging in the couch. I have a frayed couch because of Tater, but she loves digging in stuff, so they love digging in the stockings to get all their goodies out of them. It was so cute. So I want to do that for every dog this year, and that's a lot of stockings, but I'm super excited about it. I found this little rug to go here. It had that burgundy and hunter green in there, and I think I got it for like $4. I found it at the Ross, which I find almost everything at the Ross, but it looks perfect here. The few things that I did get this year, it really ties in everything together, because the trees and stuff, I used all the ornaments I already had, and I just used random ornaments too. So the things that I got to kind of tie everything together, those burgundies and those greens and that gold, it really made everything just kind of come together. These pillowcases in person were a lot brighter than I wanted them to be, but they're plaid, and I am a fan of mixing plaid these days. It started with fall. I started mixing plaid, and I was like, oh my gosh, I like this. Used to, there was no way I would have been able to do that. My brain wouldn't have let me, but I've been enjoying the mixed up plaids this year, especially for the holidays. So this red was a little bit bright, but I got another set of plaid pillows that I'm going to put in front of them, and it kind of just brings down that red a little bit. It makes it not so much in your face and makes it sort of like an accent thing. Same thing with the green pillowcases here to the left of the screen. The red and the greens on those are too bright. It didn't look so bright on Amazon. Instead of taking them back though, I'm going to use them because I've got all colors of greens and reds in the house right now because I've just thrown everything together, but I'm really trying to focus on that burgundy-ish color, that hunter green and that cream color. So these are the second plaid pillows that I got, and these are what's going to kind of tone down that other red once I put these in front of it. I already had all of these pillow inserts. I got all of these years ago, and so when it comes time for the holidays, instead of going out and buying pillows that I'll then have to pack somewhere and have room for, I just change out the pillow covers, and it works so good that way. Storing pillow covers takes up no space. I mean, especially compared to trying to store a bunch of pillows. I can use these pillows to the left of me. I can use them all year round and just change out the covers. Versus if I were to buy new pillows, actual whole pillows for every season, I would have to store all those pillows, and I just don't have the room. When it comes to putting all the Christmas stuff up, once Christmas is over, I'm going to be so extra about the containers and about it being tightly closed and everything, because bringing the stuff in here caused a stink bug extravaganza. The stink bugs were everywhere. I mean, oh, it was awful. It was awful. Literally a nightmare. It was what nightmares are made of. There were probably hundreds that got into my containers, and some of them, I don't know how they got in there because, I mean, they were closed. I guess they can squeeze into anything, really. And then they were in my tree, and nope, my tree is not going in the building without a tree bag this year. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I change up the pillows and blankets and stuff on the couch here in a little bit, but right now I'm just putting them on here to kind of see what they'll look like. Once I put these brownish, taupe-ish pillows in front of the red, I like it a lot better. I was a little bit worried when I first put those red plaid pillows on there. I almost always have a big blanket here on the end of this ottoman to take the attention away from that stain there. It looks like bleach stain. It's not a bleach stain. It's actually mildew armor or something like that. I accidentally spilled it on the couch, and it caused a whole like bleach looking stain. We've only had this couch like a year, and it's already been through some stuff. So we're always hard on couches though. I mean, we've had, I don't know how many couches in the last 5 years alone. I used to get couches like off of Marketplace and stuff, and I'll have to say those lasted a lot longer than the ones I've gotten from actual stores. I'm not even kidding you. Y'all remember when I painted my couch? Me and Shane were talking about that the other day whenever I called it a Joe Dirt couch because it looked so dirty. I had got it off Marketplace, but I wanted a gray couch so bad I couldn't afford it, so I painted the couch, and it worked too. It was suede, so I literally sprayed it like with alcohol. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I know alcohol was involved. And then I watered down paint and watercolored it, basically. It was a whole thing, but it ended up looking really good. And I actually was able to preserve it and use it for a little while longer until I could afford to get me a new couch. I thought about and played with the idea of putting this little mini pencil tree on top of these boxes to give it some height back here because I needed something on this wall. It was too bare, but I ended up taking it off the boxes because I had like a blanket around it trying to conceal it, and that stuck out like a sore thumb. That was not concealed in the least bit, so I'm fluffing it out now. I add a little bit of ornaments, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to take it down, and it looks okay. It still gives that wall something. It's just not as tall as I wanted it to be. But the kiddos put the ornaments on it, and they chose the really big ones, so that bulked it up some. And then I added some ribbon, the same ribbon I used on the big tree up near the fireplace, and that bulked it up too. So it made it like a statement piece on this wall. It's just not as tall. I wanted it to be a little bit taller. I've had this tree for a couple of years now, and I can't remember where I got it. I want to say Hobby Lobby, but then I want to say Ross too. I cannot remember where I got it, but I love it so much. It's like the perfect little mini tree. It's so pretty. I have so much unused decor, but I'm going to literally just take it throughout the house and use it wherever I can. This little area to the left here with all these totes and stuff isn't even a dent in what I have in the second living room waiting to be used. So I've got a lot of stuff to use and figure out where to put, but I'm trying to use everything I possibly can just to go all out with the Christmas this year. I'm pretty sure that I have enough to get the main living area really decorated, and the porch too, and then do some little things in my bedroom maybe. The kiddos have their own stuff that they're going to be decorating with. I think the girls have already started decorating their room. They usually ask me to come in there and help them. I don't know if they're going to this year. Sometimes they switch it up a bunch of times. If they do ask me to come in there and help them, I'll try to show you guys a little bit of that in a video, but usually they like to use their own creativity and just have me in there for if they need help with something. The amount of text messages and DMs I've got about how I did the ribbon on the big tree is hilarious, because I did this forever ago and I just assumed everybody remembered when I did it. One of my friends though, she watched the video and she said, I need to know how you did the ribbon. I can't get mine to work. And I was like, girl, I didn't do nothing real special. I just cut them and pretended like it was whole ribbons, tucked them and bubbled them out in some areas, just like in a pattern that a regular ribbon, a whole ribbon would go in. And that's what I did. So I just take each end and I tuck it into the tree, and I try to bubble it out, fluff it out a little bit to make it look like the ribbon is super bowed out sort of. And I just take it in little areas throughout the tree where a normal ribbon would flow. So I take an area, tuck it, and then leave an area in between the next diagonal ribbon to make it look like I tucked it behind that area of the tree. So I started out taking it down on the left side here, and then I go down on the right side, and I just kind of continue that ribbon looking pattern to make it look like I actually weaved ribbon into the tree. Is it the lazy way? Maybe. Is it the smart way? Maybe. Regardless, it's the fastest way. As you can see on this tree, I literally used every single sort of ornament that I had in my collection. Right here, you can really see where I'm continuing the ribbon pattern from up there on the top left. It looks like the whole ribbon would be going in a diagonal way down across the tree. There's no ribbon in between these two ribbons. It just looks like I tucked it behind a branch and just continued the ribbon pattern. It's a hack. You can even double the ribbon. If you like that stacked ribbon look where you have a smaller ribbon on top of a thicker ribbon, you could do that and do the same way. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I like to do just simple ribbon because it's just, I like easy things because I'm not very good at hard things. Sometimes I like a challenge, but when it comes to decorating's already challenging enough for me, so I just try to make it as simple as I possibly can. I mean, I literally don't use ornament hooks. I just set the ornament in there, and I just have the kids set the ornaments in there. The ornament hooks get stuck in your feet and they get swallowed by pets, so I don't even play with that. I just set the ornament in the tree, have the kiddos set the ornament in the tree, and just hope for the best. I try my hardest to always get shatterproof ornaments. Most of my ornaments are shatterproof because of the fact that I don't use hooks. I just set them in the tree. And I could use ribbon, but can you imagine tying all that ribbon onto all them ornaments? This garland is gorgeous. It's got golden glitter on it. I thought that that glitter paired with the twinkling lights would really complement each other. Shane is having to hang this with a nail gun because the thumbtacks just would not do it. The push pins, they would not hold this at all. Back in the single wide, we had made beams, like a big beam area between the kitchen and the living room like this, but a little bit different with no middle wall there, and we had to nail the garland up eventually because it just kept falling when we used command strips. It's really easy though because this is just pin nails, so when it's time to take it down, you just pop them out and there's no harm done. I knew that we would definitely need the nails though, because once we add the lights on here, it's going to be even more heavier, and there's nothing, no command strips, no nothing that would hold all that weight. I want to get a really large bow to go there in the center where it meets the ceiling, where we've taken it to the ceiling before we've hooped it again. I really want to get a large bow to go there. I didn't really know how to hang this garland, Shane. I thought about it, and where I don't have two like beam legs on each side of this opening area. I felt like Garland would look a little weird just hanging against that left side of the wall whenever it's against the right beam. So I thought maybe I would just drape it like this and kind of make it work. But even that was a little hard because it was a little bit difficult to get it looking right because the wall and the beams are at a slant. I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out though. I mean, it's Garland and that's really all I wanted. I just wanted some Garland and some lights on this side of the area because on this wall I felt it would be really plain without like lights or something. I got the cutest little ornaments made at Walgreens. So I went because I switch out these pictures, I call it my gallery wall in my living room with the DIY frames and everything. I switched those pictures out like with the seasons. So I got me some that go kind of with like the Christmas decor. It's the pictures we got made when we first bought this house. My realtor set us up with a photographer for like completely free. Like she paid to have it done. And they asked where we wanted to get the pictures taken. And I was like, our backyard. Because we have the evergreen looking trees back there. It was around fall, winter time. I was like, that's where we want it. So the boys wore burgundy. And I've got burgundy decor going throughout here this season. And then with the green trees in the background, like the evergreen looking trees, it looks really wintry. So I'm gonna switch those out with those. And whenever I was checking out, I saw that Walgreens offers ornaments. Oh my gosh. Now, these are so cute, okay? But I will say they did not line them up well at all. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but literally, I guess they just stuck a picture sticker to a block. I really could have made these, and I will make them next time. You just put like a little hook in a block. I can have Shane saw me up a block, put a hook in it, put a ribbon on the hook, and then Mod Podge a picture on the front. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. I just thought it was really cool that they were offering, you know, custom ornaments. But I got one of Moon Pie. This is the back of it, and then this is the front of it. I took that picture earlier today, and I thought it was like Olin Mills style, so I got that on an ornament. And then I got my Banksy on an ornament. He was cuddling with his favorite Christmas toy here on my favorite Christmas pillow that I still have. And then one side is zoomed in, and the other one, like this one's zoomed in, and the other one's zoomed out. So I really thought that was cool. These were $9.99 a piece though, and for the fact that they didn't even center it on there, I mean, you could make your own. So easy. You could make your own. I may make some more and show you guys how to do it if you want me to do that for like a cheaper route. But yeah, you could definitely make these on your own and not pay $10 a piece for them.
Boy, I tell you what, no ma'am. You get her up front right now. I'll kick your butt.
Oh, you put him on. You can see him on the camera.
You want
I was summoning. I was singing "Rock Around the Christmas Tree."
So you're kind of manifesting elf energy.
And then he has elf clothes.
Hey.
I feel like Banks should know what they're on.
He's looking down.
Well, yeah, I guess it's close to his name. This is for the friend who was asking about the leg lamp. It's here. It's here. go with the promise of a review. Okay? It's a thing of where you don't sit here and say, I'll never get to see him again. It's where you will say, I will see him again when I'm in heaven. And he's going to come running out of it. You're going to first go up to Jesus, Mama, Papa. If I'm there first before you, me. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're going to hear it. And you're going to look, and here he comes. Just a baffling. And he's going to come flying.
This whole area.
I have a brown one that I could put with it.
You have JJ.
Yeah.
And there is an ornament up there. You grab it.
This is one of my most favorite Christmas decor finds ever. It has like holly berries. Is it holly berries? Holly leaves, and it's fabric. I found it at Ross for I think $8.99, and it's one of the most unique Christmas picture frames I've ever found. I had taken these pictures earlier and sent them to Shane, and he had a fit over them, so I had him pick them up. Whenever he saw what it was, he was like, Raina! So I put that picture in this picture frame and set it up on this shelf, kind of rearranged the stuff on this shelf. I have this little tree here that I'm just obsessed with. I don't know what it is about this tree. I just love everything about it. The gold on it, the little holly leaves, all that stuff. I felt like they went perfect together. I feel like they also clash a little bit too, but I like them together, so I'm keeping them together. And then I'm going to put my big old framed out gingerbread community like thing house right beside it, because I like to show off that too, because that's one of my most favorite finds I've ever found at Ross too. If y'all are sleeping on Ross, I'm telling you, wake up. They have so many cool things, and I'm not sponsored or paid for promotion or affiliate or anything like that at all. If you've been here for a while, you know I just absolutely I love Ross. If y'all have any suggestions for keeping cords hidden, like extension cords and stuff, let me know in the comments. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a blessed morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Know that I love you, but Jesus, the very reason for the season, loves you so much more. I will see you guys in the next one.